Alright, so this is a bit of a trial to load up onto the website, looking at the introduction, the rather long introduction to the Winter's Tale edition, the new Cambridge Shakespeare publication edited by Susan Snyder and Deborah T.Curren-Aquino. I'm not sure who wrote the introduction because it's not signed at the bottom, but just thought I'd talk through different sections. So the Winter's Tale, what's it about? Love, a miracle, gift, resurrection, forgiveness. One of the last plays Shakespeare wrote, often called a later comedy or a tragicomedy or a romance, and this introduction goes through that. So the proverbial wheel of fortune, what's the message? It's compatible with hope, and the themes throughout the play are revisited from earlier tragedies that Shakespeare wrote, and now the characters at the end of the Winter's Tale, instead of a tragedy that ends in multiple deaths, we have a benign and mellow ending. Words that are motifs in this play, such as vast, wide gap, deal of wonder, hyperboles, syntactical amplification, which means the punctuation in the sentences exaggerate the meaning, slow down the delivery for emphasis, all point to the fact that there is a magical undertone, in some places overt, in this production. There is movement in the geographical setting between Sicilia, Bohemia, and back to Sicilia, and we have a gap at the beginning of Act 4 of 16 years, so the suspension of disbelief is very strong for the audience. We have two separate plot lines, each involving a triangle of people, Leontes, Hermione, Polixenes, and then Perdita, Florizel, and Autocleus. Can't say. Alright, so there are issues that need to be discussed. Leontes' jealousy, the bear episode, the figure of time, capital T, the meaning of the fifth act, and the ending that Shakespeare's written for us. And when you're talking about this play in your commentaries, it's very important that it's not just literary analysis of the passage you've got in front of you, but how this particular scene would have been performed. So I'm going to read a quote that is on page 2 of our books. It's from Harold Goddard, The Meaning of Shakespeare, which is a 1951 analysis. It says, "The Winter's Tale is a fairy tale. It is fact, it's a fairy tale. It's romantic, but it's also realistically romantic. It is tragic, it is comic. It is Christian, it is pagan. It is harsh and crabbed, it is simple and idyllic. It is this, it is that. It is a welter of anachronisms. Its geography is in spots fantastic. It is not only gods, but a bear, a storm, a yacht from the machine." So the reason why I wanted to highlight that quotation to you is that this is a play with binary opposites in it, and my class will be very familiar with that literary term, binary oppositions, by the end of this year. So this is what makes it problematic to talk about or write about. It is a comedy in the sense it's got comic conventions in it, but it does have a strong moral and even spiritual meaning, which, if you've read or seen The Comedy of Errors, Taming of the Shrew, Midsummer Night's Dream, those comedies are lacking. So let's move on to romance. We have lots of elements of the romantic tradition in this play, and the introduction points to travel, reunions of lovers, reunions of families long separated, virtue being tested and proved triumphant. So it is correct to be referring to this play as a romance.